Hey traders, Adam here from Bull Logic doing a trade review on a trade we took today on ACUR. It's a pharmaceutical company. They released earnings after the close yesterday. That was on Monday right here, Monday the 4th. They released earnings after the close. Obviously, they did pretty good. As you can see, the market pushed them higher, gapped up in the morning, and continued to run. And as you know, in Bull Logic, we love to trade earnings breakouts. They could just run and run and run. They get hot. You can get 10%, 20% in the matter of minutes. So they're a great way to put in a lot of profit in your portfolio in a really short amount of time. All you got to do is learn what to look for and how to play them. And that's what I'm about to show you today. So when I see these stocks starting to gap up, I do my morning scans. I look through the news. I see what's reported earnings, what's good earnings, what beat expectations, what's released the patent news, what's released all the good news, and then I throw them on a watch list and I keep my eye on them throughout the day. And I first start with a 2-minute chart. And I'm going to pull that up today. Here is a 2-minute chart. As you see, it's where it gapped up in the morning and they kind of ran and then kind of flattened out for the rest of the day. So I start with the 2-minute chart, and that's just because there's not a lot of candles. If I were to start with a 5-minute chart, it takes me 5 minutes just to add the first candle, another 5 minutes just to see what's going to happen after that. Things move real slow in the morning if it's on a 5-minute chart. So I usually wait till I get to the afternoon, past noon, maybe 1 o'clock before I move into a 5-minute chart. That way, there's enough candles in there that I can actually see what's still going on. So I start with that 2-minute chart, and the first thing I see is the gap up, and it gaps up and it starts to run. And even though this doesn't show volume, there was a lot of volume that came into it this morning. I'll show you that on the daily chart again after I get done with the 2-minute chart. So it runs up and runs up. I can't find a place to get in because there's just a non-stop running. I could have tried maybe around here rather than 279, but I didn't like it. It continues to run up and continues to push higher and higher and higher. And the stock just goes from down here at 230 all the way up here to 350 in a matter of 30 minutes. So I know it's going to pull back. So I'm waiting for my time. I'm starting to watch it real close here. I'm waiting for that time where it's going to give me an entry point. So it starts to pull back and it makes these kind of big candles, but then it starts to flatten out here around this $3 range. Now I know that $3 is a whole number. I know that's going to act as good support because when people buy a stock, they usually look for the easiest place to put their stops, and that's just going to be under a whole number. So those whole numbers act as good support. It's also starting to hit this exponential moving average I have here on the charts, the 9 EMA, and I like to keep that on my intraday charts. It's just a good indicator of where things are going to pull back. It's a good line to show you on an intraday chart on these quick movers. So it starts to pull back to this 9 EMA, and it's starting to hit this $3 support zone, and it's kind of fluttering. It's not really going any lower, so I'm starting to watch it. I'm like, it's probably going to bounce. If I can get a buy-in here, I could put my stop under the $3, and it would give me a low risk, and I have the potential of getting a strong bounce. So I tried to get my buy-in about 304, and I missed that. I was too busy fumbling around with the numbers that I missed it. It actually ran up to 306. So I got my buy-in at 306 right here on this big spike. It was starting to go. I'm like, okay, I need to buy in now. And let's see if we can get a run up. I'll put my stop at 299, 298. I'm risking 6, 7 cents. Not that big of a deal. It's low risk, and I have the potential to make a good reward. So this thing just shoots right out of the gate when on this bounce. It jumps to 316 that first candle and then continues to go to that 328. I ended up selling my first half at 320 right here on the second big candle. I figured this is just going to bounce off a moving average and off a $3 support zone. It has the potential of coming back down. I just want to get this nice bounce, so I sell half my shares quickly. I pocket that profit. That way I don't have to worry about the trade. I move my stop up. I move it to the $3 range. I'm cut my risk a little bit. Then the stock starts to flatten out a little bit. It does pull back, it comes down, but it never actually goes below the $3 range. I think the lowest it went was 302, and then it starts to gear up and run again. And so as it's making this run, I sell my last shares at 328 right there. On this last big candle, I figure these 4 bars are probably going to mark the last big run. It's a pretty big move, and it's pretty quick time period, so they'll probably have another pullback. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of my other half of my shares, dump them at 328. I was happy to bring in the profit. That's good for a 7% gain just on those last shares alone. The stock did end up running a little bit more up into the 360s. I missed out on that, but overall, this was a nice, quick, and easy gain off a very simple play. All I did was wait for a pullback to support. I waited for a low risk entry. That's where I got in, and then that's where I made my money. I could have taken this trade 4 or 5 different times with the risk, that low risk, and all I had to do was hit it once, and it would pay for itself. So I was happy to take the trade. It's okay. I didn't make all the way to 360. I dumped it at 328. I'm still happy with the gains just because it was so quick and it was just a very easy to manage trade. Definitely keep these earnings plays, these news plays. They definitely should be a part of your toolbox. You definitely need to hit them every day. Opportunity after opportunity every single day comes from these kind of plays, and you need to know how to play them. I hope that helps everyone. Have a great night.